All right, you are now tuned in to the Rotated Views podcast. I am your host, Jimmylee Velez. I'm here with Goose, Gabe, Trey, Chris, and Don. Philly Point of View. In this episode, we have special guests Chris Smallwood, Don Washington, and Trae Hall. The crew covers topics from comedy, side hustles, chasing dreams, the city of Philadelphia, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Virat Kohli and Benjamin Disraeli. Guys, if you're new, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to download and subscribe. We drop a new episode every Tuesday morning for your listening pleasure. Kicking things off, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, man. Appreciate you.
All right, so let's go around the horn. So, Trey, obviously you've been with us multiple times, so we'll start with you, then we'll go to Don, and then Chris, if you want to jump in.
Yeah, my name is Trey. I'm from Jersey. I specifically own a nonprofit organization. I work a 9 to 5 like everybody else, though. You know, don't get that mistaken. You know, you got to really push hard in life. But right now what I'm trying to do is actually push out, help my community, do education, food, clothing drives, do larger communities and larger organizations as well. And lastly, just provide opportunities for kids to have, you know, a platform to really speak. You know, I feel like we all are often muted, and I feel like especially as kids, we often need that opportunity in that space. So
awesome. So Trey's been on multiple episodes with us, and if you follow him on Instagram or any other social media platform, he walks the walk. He really is out there, event after event. So, man, coming from the crew, we appreciate everything you do. All right, Don, let us know who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Don Washington, you know, from Philly, you know, Germantown, grew up in Logan, you know. I really ain't really been. I do a little podcast a little bit, or, you know, I'm a little funny just on the regular, just on the, you know, I don't really have no skits or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just regular. People say I'm funny, but I know I am funny. I'm just regular, just, you know, just natural, so.
Right.
Other than that, though, you know, just staying out the way, you know, living in Philly, you gotta stay out the way.
Of course. All right, Chris, and you about yourself?
You know me, I'm Chris Smallwood. Just do a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, stack my money. You know, getting into real estate.
Nice.
You know, about to get a couple houses. That's about it. Staying out the way, like he said, Germantown.
Right.
Love it. All right, so Don, talk about a little bit of what made you want to get started with a podcast. Was it conversations with friends, or you just saw other people doing podcasts and you just wanted to start it on your own, or give us a little bit of
it basically came from a guy named Joey Diaz.
Okay.
Why you see me just conversation, just talking, and I just be like, I be doing it with my friend.
Yeah.
You know, just regular, just
the comedian Joey Diaz.
Yeah, comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, big fat guy. Yeah, you know, the funniest guy. That's the village. Oh man, I love that guy. But he really made me doing some like regular conversation, just with your friends. You put a little mic on. We already be just regular, just bit and just regular. Be like, everybody else doing it. You know, why can't you do it? I guess so. You know.
So what's the premise behind it? I know it's titled Philly Point of View, correct? Yeah. So do you have any topics, or you just kind of everyday life things?
It's more so like depending on the day. Depending on, like, normally I used to have friends on, and then it's like when people start falling off, it messed it up a little bit. I had a couple of views when I had all my friends, all just bid and just regular, just high school, just childhood friends. You know, you bid, best, and everything, just funny just throughout the day. So once we started doing that, then it started flowing. Then once they start, you know, trying to get 6 people together every day or a certain time of the week is like never going to happen, you know. So that messed it up.
So were you doing it via YouTube, or were you recording? Like,
I was doing it on Anchor. I was doing Anchor off my phone. I just downloaded off Anchor. I would listen to Joey Diaz. He told me what to do off the episode. He told me to Anchor. I said, Anchor, I can do this myself. Okay. And downloaded it, and then I started doing it with my friend Chris right here. You know, we started doing it too. So, you know, he lived next door to me, so, you know, it just made it so easier, you know.
So when he approached you, Chris, what were you just like, yeah, let's do it, or?
Oh, yeah, I had another little podcast that I was going to do.
Okay.
That fell through, too. We started it off. It was a nice little situation. You know, it was more like a, you know, current events type of situation. But, you know, me and Donna, we always talking about current events anyway. So
that's funny, because that's how this podcast got started. So that's my brother Miguel, who owns the shop, Gabe, my buddy Gabe, and my other brother. And we would have conversations, just be out back by the fireplace, fire pit and just talking. Like, man, we should capture this.
We're
already having these conversations. So that basically is in a similar manner.
Yeah, same thing, same exact thing. Because I started off, he was on a couple episodes, and then trying to get people together. Felt just like him. We've been childhood friends. We've been childhood friends forever. So we already talk about it. So we we might as well. People say we funny, so why not try it? Why not try it?
Go with it, right?
Right.
So explain the influence, right? Because it's called Philly Point of View. So explain the Philadelphia influence. Are you talking about, when you're saying, Chris, current events, are you talking about things that are going around in the neighborhood, at a broader stage, worldwide, or is it just any real topic?
I mean, I basically started off more like our growing up, or like, our point of view from Philly, us growing up from our point of view. And then they go into current events, things like that, depending on, like, it all really depended on the situation or how the mood or, it already varies. You're just talking. So talking leads to whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, we about to talk about this, that. We used to do that. Then it was like, all right, we're going to just talk. We're going to put the camera on. We're going to put it on and just talk. You know what I'm saying? Then it makes it more fluent that way. Yeah. When we go on the next one, we're going to go there. No, it's like it's scripted, just make it regular, just regular talking. Like,
it's like the natural flow.
That's the flow.
And make it better,
Yeah. All right, so you explained already Joey Diaz was an influence, and then you guys are into comedy, correct? So was there any other stand-up comics or any other people you looked up to that you were influenced by? The way you
more like Philly people, more like the younger ones, like Chichichi, like more like the funnier one. I mean younger ones that our generation type people. I'm more the older ones because we laugh at different things. Older people make us laugh, be like, that wasn't funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was funny to the older people. I'm like, what was the point of that joke? You know what I'm saying? So what people you can relate to, like so that's me. I'm more like Joey Diaz, just like he just so raw. Tell me to be like, he don't care what he say.
He doesn't hold back.
Yeah, I love that. That's how I am.
And plus, he went through things like we went through. So
right.
Joey Diaz. Philadelphia is kind of a bad place. So he's
from New York.
He's from New York, so he's seen a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. So we just started watching him. Yeah. He's funny though. He's a real dude.
So are you guys? You said you had a couple of your friends. Do you have any other guests, or is it now just boiled down to you two?
Basically boiled down to us two for the meantime, but more like I be thinking about those stuff. It's like I gotta figure out more topics I'll get a nice little spot to do it in. That's more like I'm gonna do it in my room because I ain't gonna keep wanting to clean this thing up all the time. Like, no, I want camera in my room. I ain't got time to clean this up. I ain't got time to clean this joint up and make it look good for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now forget that. You come in here, you in here. You know what I'm saying?
Still
turn
trash.
your phone off.
It's still trash. Even when it clean up. It's still trash.
Everything behind the door. Put everything behind the window. Behind the door. Got a spot for that.
So Trae, how did you meet these guys?
Honestly, it's crazy. I met Chris through sports. Actually,
Delve baby.
He was the water boy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was the water boy.
The water
boy. I feel like that, and it's crazy because Donald just mentioned it. What makes it relatable? Like comedy, and I feel like sports is the same way.
Yeah.
If you can relate to something, it makes it funny. If you can't relate to something, you wouldn't know what it's like to relate to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't know what it's like to stretch out that period of waiting to get your next paycheck and people knowing, all right, I can't party as much this week versus next week.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just a difference. I didn't mean to jump off topic, but yes, I met Chris through football, and then ever since then I knew him like almost, eight years now. 8 years now. So football, roommates for years.
Wow.
Football.
Yeah, competed every day. He was a running back, I was a linebacker. So
so you
competition. A lot. No, Chris was
nobody was seeing me.
Chris was special. They kept him nice and clean at practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd have took him out, coach. I'd have took him out.
There's a story I shouldn't tell. I'm going to tell it. They call him 6 Chris. All right?
6 Chris?
Yes, 6 Chris. One time in a game, this man scored 6 touchdowns.
Ooh. Wow.
In a college football game.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Wow.
So he's a legend.
Ain't even tell nobody.
At practice the next week, coach was like, Chris, you don't need to practice, do you? I was like, coach, no. We don't need it. We don't need a day off. We won by a lot this week. So.
Oh, man.
Sports, comedy, anything that's an outlet that's relatable.
Music is the same way, right?
The same way.
You hear a track, you hear something, you relate to it. That's your guy. You hear another track, can't relate to it. Like, I don't know, you lost me. But it's similar. So you have that camaraderie built around. There's that friendship, that bond. You guys grew up together. You played sports together.
Yeah, I played sports, and plus, we were always on the same type of grind too. You know, we never wanted to stay still.
Yeah.
So that's really why we got together, because you can play football with anybody.
Sure.
But realistically, you can meet people. They could be weirdos. They could be in a whole bunch of stuff. They want to stand still.
Yeah.
Trae was always a person who never wanted to stand still. That's why he started. I'm proud of him because he started all his businesses and all that stuff like that.
Right.
So that's why he plays on turkeys and all that stuff. So I really saw him go from nothing to listening. I remember them days driving around trying to sell stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, he used to do that. No, he used to work at a company. He used to drive around his own car. They tried to pay not paying no miles.
Home Depot. I used to have to talk to 150 people a day to convince people to try to change their kitchen cabinets.
I seen that.
Commission, making $250 a week. Probably like one a month. So I'm making $1,000 a month. Thank goodness we're splitting a 2-bedroom with 3 guys. Thank God. If it was one person, it's over. I'm sleeping in the car. You gotta do what you gotta do. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But
that's
$1,000 not bad though. I mean, that's back then.
But then I got student loans, so I got student loans. I'm like, Jesus, what do I do? So
and taxes
heavy taxes.
Don't forget those taxes.
So
don't forget about Uncle Sam.
Get his first.
And I think that's, like I said, Jimmy, that's really where the company comes from. As you meet different people that I bring here, like they'll tell you that's where OMTTM comes from.
Yeah.
That patience, the humble accountability, dedication, hard work. When you had nothing, we had those values. And now that you're even coming across opportunities in life to travel and meet new people, you still have to keep those values to keep going. Or if you don't, like Chris said, you kind of fall off and you stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are standing outside the liquor store just talk about the good old sports days. There's no difference.
All money at the bar. It don't
at
matter.
The bar,
the same person who's sitting on the street begging is the same person who could be in the thing and buying all the drinks and be broke the next day. You know what I'm saying? They live paycheck to paycheck. There's not no way to live.
And there's no difference between any of us. So you got to keep pushing and keeping your good values to yourself.
That's how I met him. He was on the street begging. I gave him a couple of you gotta get off this road. You gotta get off this street, man.
I robbed him, and then we went next door. You live next door to me. Give you my stuff, man. My bad, bro. I ain't even next door to each other. My bad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. So do you have, when you look back, is there a favorite episode of you guys recorded? Is there one that you're like, we got to keep it to that level, or do you keep raising the bar after each one?
I like that. I like the episode with your mom. When your mom came in there next to you, his mom came in and started cursing him out.
Right. He didn't have no kicks.
No shit. She didn't care about none of that.
I forgot what episode that was. I got to repost that. I forgot about that.
What's name?
So where are you guys finding inspiration from? Where are you getting your material from? Is it obviously day to day? Everyone has a 9 to 5, but do you go online? You mentioned Joey Diaz several times, but is there any other way where you draw inspiration from? Anything? Do you write ideas down? The process.
When I think it'd be so natural, because I ain't the writing type of person.
Yeah.
So I ain't the writing type of person. It just be just so natural. Or like he'll write some things that we don't really we really haven't done in a while. Like just we'll just be like, are we gonna talk about this? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. I hate Tom Brady. And he loved Tom Brady, so that's an argument. That's a whole hour right there. Just talking about
easy money right there.
Kick him out right now.
That's an argument right there.
There goes the door, brother.
Be ready to rumble in there, Jordan, with Tom Brady. Like, boy.
So are you guys into Philadelphia sports?
Oh yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. I got a tattoo on my chest. Eagles all day. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
No.
He don't even like teams. Like I don't know who he like.
Like players.
He a Tom Brady fan.
I like the Falcons. I know there's no better, but
yeah.
They not the Eagles.
He's better than the Eagles.
They're not the Eagles.
We definitely better than y'all. We definitely better than y'all.
No, but he doesn't write anything down. But I get a couple things from Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
I would like he does the same thing. Like we watch podcasts all the time, listen to podcasts all the time.
Like a lot of
so
them.
A lot of the stuff
that he does,
he don't
music
really.
now.
When you hear and you see the repetition and you see everything, you see how they're breaking everything down.
Right.
You get it.
Figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it out. You get it.
Yeah.
So, we just listen. We just do a lot of homework. Just listen.
Yeah.
Because, you can get a podcast. You can get anything from podcasts from anybody. You can get it from Skip Bayless. They had it. That's hilarious. Shannon cracks us up. Everyone has their own little, their own little style to it. We take a little bit of everything, but just keep it more Philly,
Like, so what, in your opinion, what's the end goal? Where would you like to see the podcast at? What level would you like to take it?
I would want to see me, because I'm a little bit funny. I like to bid off people, so I would want it to be like take it through where I could just, interview people just on the, a little bit like bid off them. Like, you ever heard of what's the guy named Ryan Sickler?
Yeah.
Yo, his podcast is the funniest. Like, that's the other one I be thinking of. He just bid off them. Like, they talk about their life, and he just just throw little
he
jokes.
He rips off everything that they're doing.
I like to start that. So much like I would find the funny part about it, like things like that. Like,
you got to be really witty too, right?
Yeah,
like you got to be on it sharp.
Right on it. Yeah,
that's what he mean by bidding. That's
okay.
a Philly. That's what he mean by bidding. That's like we making fun of each other. That's what bid mean. Just in case anybody know, you got to explain stuff.
Oh, my bad.
It's like the banter, the back and forth.
Exactly.
I'm from Philly, bro. I bet we know how to talk.
So that's really what that's really what we want to do, because that's all we do is crack on each other.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
And what makes them so? I think them funny, and everything that I see funny as a viewer. We all probably grew up watching the same movies that we talk about. The same old school comedians, even though we don't watch their podcasts now. Their stand-up comedian makes it a big deal.
Yeah, we started from there.
So anybody who's, when you guys are making the jokes, all the references, you're understanding each other.
Eddie first.
We know each other, so we already relate to the same things. Like, so certain things you'd be like, oh, I already know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a little brother shirt. You know that's a little brother shirt.
We all have 9 to 5 jobs. So explain also the difficult part of managing that, and then also doing the side hustle basically of the podcast, because we all do the same thing. We've been doing this podcast for 5 years. So at one point we went from, what was it, Tuesdays to Wednesdays to now it's manageable on a Monday night. It works for everyone's schedule, and here we are 5 years later, and we kind of make adjustments here and there depending on the guest. But explain the difficulty. It's not easy. You're tired as anything from work already. Or you could be mentally drained and just like over it, and then still putting in the work for this material.
See, it'd be like hard, because you're like me, when I like to bid, I gotta be in the mood to bid. When you tired, it kills the whole. I'm yawning trying to make a joke that ain't working. You know what I'm saying? I can't even laugh and make my own self laugh to keep on. So it's just like it just always just be out there. You really got to want to do it. Like, all right, you know what? This is what we going to do. We got, more like that. You really got to put the battery in your back to do it. That's the main thing.
But even as a viewer on his page, though, he's funnier in the morning. Yeah. I noticed that. When he goes cracking jokes, I'm hollering on his way to work. Talk about that. Because realistically, we all have the attitude in the morning like, dang, I know I got to go. Yeah. But there's that 1%, like, do I really need to go?
Yeah.
But that 1%, he shows us that he'll let that hidden figure show.
Get your ass. I've been there.
Get up out of bed, get going, stop complaining, and it's hilarious. So it keeps us going.
Man, I don't sleep. It's called not sleeping. I don't never stop. I don't never like to stop. I don't like sitting still. So if I get into anything, you know what I'm saying? My grandma taught me to do it 100%. Yeah. So if I get into something, I'm going to do it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to sit around.
I'll be slacking. I'll be slacking.
I don't have no time to be whistling. I don't have no time for that. So for me, but for me, I want to do it. If I want to do it all the time. Right. Yeah. If there's any progress to be made, we could do it. Even if we got to do it every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we make a podcast, we're like, nope. Well, there been days when we done podcasts and we're like, we're erasing this. We're erasing this whole thing. We didn't say nothing. We said nothing the whole time for an hour. We said nothing.
What was the podcast we quit? I was asleep the whole podcast. I'm sleeping like an hour, just sleeping.
It sounded like somebody's memoirs.
Sleep. I'm like the whole extra hour.
Did you know he was sleeping?
Yep, just you just kept talking. Did not just say 100%. I'm work on my craft. You know what I'm saying? Kobe ain't get good by not shooting jump shots from Kwame Brown at the club.
100%. They the biggest thing when people always ask us about what makes a successful podcast. It's honestly, it's consistency, because you're going to work out those kinks. There are going to be days you don't want to be there. There's going to be days, even though you still go through the motions, and even if you delete that, it's the fact that you show consistency. That's how we ended up with the Mondays, 8 o'clock, 5 years later, 255 episodes later. So in sponsorships and all that stuff, that's it's a lot of dedication.
We especially with the ones that we messed up, we still have good material in it. So sometimes we'll just take a little piece out of it and use it for a little snippet. Or we were even thinking about too, is just taking that podcast and put it up for trash podcast for when the next season wants to come out. Put up
little blooper section.
Yeah. Look, this is our progress. This is our progress. We're just like everybody else. We're trying just like everybody else.
Our first through a few podcasts went out the window. We don't even know what was going on. We didn't know how to act. We're talking over each other. Zero professionalism. I mean, it was bad. But you have to start somewhere, right? If you don't hit record, how would you know? How are you going to improve?
Yeah, you're right.
So I know one of the things that we did. Well, me and Gabe made a promise to each other. We hit an episode goal and said, yo, we got to do 10 episodes. And we should hit 10. Let's hit 25. Right. And if we could just lock in 25, call it season 1, boom. So you have that goal. You have something to go for. Because in the beginning, we're loosely putting up to, let's knock this out. This is going to be fun. Yep. And then, like you said, no one shows up because people weren't taking it serious. Mm-hmm. But if you put those things to it, do you want to be part of season 1? Good. We have 25 episodes. Right. Join us on this day, but just set the date and just keep it moving. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Right.
I know that's right.
Or 10 episodes, whatever you want to make a season. I think just have fun with it. Well, you're saying you're doing them every day at one point?
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of material.
Yeah, right? We just talk with it. Throw the camera and just talk. You know what I'm saying? We live next door to each other, so we can talk about everything. You know what I'm saying?
His mom and my mom are best friends.
They
best friends. Yeah, we got all the dirt. We got
all the dirt on them.
Do you guys ever consider? Now I know your mom. You said your mom's a special guest, but not in the sense where you wanted it. Did you ever consider having them on?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah. We wanted to have them on. It was that
would be funny. That'd be good.
My mom's where I get my fun. My mom and my dad is where I get it from. You know what I'm saying? So our family is a funny family. So it's just everybody funny. So that'd be too lit.
Well, we didn't want to expose them.
We didn't want to talk to them about
Ivana Denise. We don't want to put all that out there. I want to mess your name up in these streets.
Got your boyfriend's like, oh yeah, that's how you was back then. Yeah, I was there.
Then they start calling us. Hey, man, tell me that story.
What happened? What else happened? Anything else any more stories you got? Tell me about your mama.
So is your overall goal? I know, Chris, you mentioned something about investing in real estate.
Yes.
What's your overall goal? Is your overall goal to turn those 9-to-5s into the podcast, or comedy, or real estate investing? After, if ideally, what would you want to be doing?
I want to have at least 5 hustles. Yeah. So even if I keep that 9-to-5, that's still a paycheck coming in. If I got the time for it, you know what I mean?
Of course.
So for me, I just want to have enough hustles to where I'm good. Which I'm good now, but I want to get better.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna still be wearing the same things, still doing the same things, riding on the same car.
Yeah.
But my end goal is to just make sure everything's good and set, so I can have my real estate, working, doing everything else.
Yeah.
That way, because right now real estate is gold right now.
Right.
Real estate is gold right now. So I just want to grab a couple things, and then once I get enough money and all that stuff, then I move to a farm. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to farm. I ain't never farmed in my life. I'm not gonna grow nothing. I'm moving to a farm. I'm gonna have all the dogs,
you gonna grow some bugs,
all the guns, all the everything in there. Man. But that's my end goal.
So your end goal, multiple streams of income coming from various, methods.
Yes.
Okay.
Diverse portfolio. That's what I want.
I like it. And Donald, what about you?
I'm pretty much the same thing, but more just make sure I'm cool, my family cool. My dad and I'm great, so I want to be like them. So they point me in the right direction. Got things lined up for me coming up, thanks to my dad. So helped me out a whole lot.
Yeah.
So that just helped me point me in the right direction because I grew up a little different. So
Yeah.
I'm I stepped on my own foot. I shot my own self in the foot. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get myself out the mud.
Yeah.
So I put my own self in. That's the dumb part about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. You was in the mud with me, and you didn't need to be.
Right. You
didn't need to be.
They didn't even need you, bro. See my dad live, he'd be like, Don, what the heck is you tripping about? I'm like, man, I don't even know.
Man, but you good, bro. Look.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
today. So it's interesting, right? So I like to hear that point of view where you're saying you do have the future in your mind to maybe if one day you all start your own family, have everyone set, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we call that, there's a book called Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. Mm-hmm. And basically the concept is to have your kids start on your shoulder. Instead of starting on the ground, they're starting on your shoulder. So they're that much taller when they begin. It's very powerful. When you think about that, that's wow. So yeah, I mean, anyone listening to this, you're starting your own podcast and you're ready to rock and roll. What suggestions would you guys give them?
Well, I say work on your craft. Do your homework first. Mm-hmm. The first thing is do your homework, because if you don't know, like you're never gonna be good at everything. Right? Yeah. So find out what you aren't good at. You're gonna start off. You're gonna start your first podcast. It's gonna suck. Yeah. Exactly. It's gonna suck. Point blank. Period. It's not gonna be the best thing. You're gonna talk over each other. You're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. We went through that. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and get that out the way. Yeah. Then you listen to the podcast and you figure, all right, this is what I need to work on. Yeah. Let's not talk over each other. Yeah. Let's not curse as much. Yeah. Let's not bring this topic up, because this topic up is a hot topic. We don't want to lose no. Yeah. We don't want to lose nothing for you. We don't want to lose no viewers because it's science. You know what I'm saying?
Fans that you did gain, you lost.
Yeah. But that's it. Just sit down and do your homework, because at the end of the day, repetition builds muscle memory, man. I like it. And when you got that muscle memory, then it's like you guys just came in. Yeah. You already had everything set. That's what we're trying to get on. Because you guys had a situation. You say you've been doing it for 5 years. We just started. We learning from you guys right now.
Absolutely.
Like 6 months in.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We're trying to, basically just try it out. Yeah. Don't be scared to try it out. Don't be afraid to fail, because you're gonna fail. Yeah. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna do a whole bunch of things. Go do it. Then find out what's wrong. Fix it. And then little do you know, you'll look up. You got the hottest podcast.
Mm-hmm. So explain, you guys met each other, Trae and Chris, you guys met each other through sports. So explain a little bit about that mentality and how you apply it to the grind, so to speak. Practice, consistency, right? And teamwork.
Yeah, what it melts down to is sacrifice at the end of the day. I think we know how to sacrifice a lot of things. We're very humble people. Like from clothing to, the way we get up, how we greet people, hold the doors, thank you, yes, like your mannerisms, everything has to be on point to that regard. I love the humbleness, the basic. People always reference it. Malcolm X says, a genius can make a complex situation simple. Somebody unsmart can make a simple situation complex. So if you keep things simple, be yourself, I think that's sacrifice. We do that every day now. Like, we really want to take vacations every single day with everybody else.
I can go take vacations, but I'm not taking them.
It's not now. We need to go to work and get things done. So.
But that's also what football teaches you too. Is you're not gonna get everything you want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And everything that you want, you gotta go take it. Yeah. You gotta go take it, man. Because you may want to be the best. Oh, well, I got the talents to be the best guy in the world. Yeah. If you're not putting in that work on the off season, how do you expect that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It teaches you how to grind completely. Because there's someone behind you. Because you could be the guy for the first year. You know what I'm saying? You a sophomore, but you didn't know they're recruiting the next guy. The next guy who they want to take his spot. Oh, well, we're going to put him in and we're going to try him out a little bit too. Next man up. And that's what anything in life, though. It's always the next man up.
What we're watching now with the Olympics, you see the last Olympics, someone was the star. They're not even the star anymore. It's another, younger person.
There's always someone coming who's more hungry, more talent, more anything. It just teaches you how to grind. Because realistically, the grind is going to keep all them lions off you. Mm-hmm. If you in shape, you could beat them off you. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's all you got to do. That's what it taught me. Is the grind. It's the grind. Mm-hmm. It don't stop. It really don't.
I love it. So on that same topic, Donald, we'll start with you. What is your motivation?
My motivation, like in life or just
in life? Yeah, in general.
My motivation is actually my little cousins right about now. Yeah. Because, like they look up to me like, I ain't got no kids. So, I look at my little cousins like my little kids. You know what I'm saying? So, I call me Uncle Don. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, they really my motivation. More like making my dad proud. Because I don't want to let him down growing up. So, just making them like, you ain't that mess up, that F up son that we thought, you know what I'm saying? That you turned out to be. You actually just like, that's pretty much the main thing. Just making sure that everybody, good and they happy that I turned dark, because I had a 360, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm cool with that, Yeah. That's pretty much.
Trae, what about you? What's your motivation?
What's my motivation?
Come on, brother.
The have-nots. The have-nots. Everything that I did not have, and I don't mean material, you know what I mean? But everything you just did, I didn't have, really motivates me to keep going for more and more and more. Like you said, that giant standing on your kid's shoulders. Even if I do or don't have it, I don't want to tell my kid like, hey, I don't have it right now for that. I want to be able to say yes and no just based on choice. You know what I mean? Simple things. I want to be able to make sure I can go get my kid ice cream Or when we go to the store, we can go down each aisle. There's no put that back.
Right.
That's $1 million for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just the have-nots that brings me my motivation every day. Simple things.
Love it. Chris, what about you?
Well, my motivation is basically I want to make all the bad stuff I've done in my life, I want to make it good.
Yeah.
So like all the people who were there for all the bad stuff, me messing up, me being down. Yeah. I want to get them everything that they want. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you're down, they know there's not really too many people around. 100%. So the people who are really there for me, you know, really motivate me to grind and make everything better. That and being back in the day, you know, we used to have. I came up in a big family. Yeah. So you know, for dinner we used to eat fried rice. We used to shrimp fried rice for dinner. It'd be 5 of us. We eat 2 pints of shrimp fried rice. Yeah. I want to get that memory out of my life. Yeah. I don't want that no more. I don't want that in my head no more. No, nothing, bro. Just shrimp fried rice. Just shrimp fried rice was 5 of us. I want to get all that out of my mind, and you know, I want to make everything good. Make everything good. Make sure everybody's straight. You feel me?
Yeah. I love it. What's, in your opinion, what do you think the best way, again, not doesn't necessarily have to be comedy or just podcast, but so we have a lot of listeners that are out there thinking, they're always on the fence of about to start a small business or about to invest in something or maybe start a podcast. For those people who are listening right now, in your opinion, what's the best way for them to kind of get off their rear end and kick into gear and going after it, going after your dreams?
Whatever you want to invest, take half of that money and invest it. Yeah. Don't use the whole thing. Yeah. Because you gotta, if you didn't do any homework, you're gonna go in there. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose something. Yeah. So say you want to go into the stocks. You want to go into the stocks. Don't just put $1,000 into something that someone told you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I read this book and they told me to put this in here, put this in here. Until you really figure it out, use the little pennies. Go ahead, use that money that you know that you saved up, them coins that you saved up. Right. Yeah, it's only $150, but you can make that $150 into $250. Now I'm starting to get it. Now I can put a little bit more money in there. Okay, this ain't the time to put it in right now. Now you might lose a little bit.
Sometimes you got to hold back.
Yeah, you got to hold back. You can't put your whole thing into it because that's what really kills people when they start their dream. They put too much into it, and then they don't get in return. Then they say, oh, well, screw it. I'm going to go try something else. But I say, take whatever you want to do, put half into it. And that's with a small business or anything. With a podcast, dive in it. Yeah. With a podcast, dive in it. Depends on your situation.
Of course.
If it's money, if you're using your money, half of that money. Whatever you want to invest, I say, oh, all right, well, I got a goal. I wanted to invest $1,000 right now. Use $500 to invest right now. Yeah. And then you just work your way to $1,000 because that's what people do, man. Because it's stepping stones. It's not get rich tomorrow. A lot of people say that, but that ain't the truth. That ain't the truth. That ain't the truth. Oh, I got a get rich scheme. You just see it all the time. Get rich scheme. Oh man, I made this, and don't follow everybody else or what they saying. Because somebody else who been in the game for that's like me, us trying to compare to your podcast.
Correct.
You've been doing it for 5 years. How we expect we got a couple views now, or we're better than you now. No, you guys have a lot more experience. And that's what it is, man.
Trey, what do you think?
Coming into anything new, why not? Just a why not? Think about, most people who are listening are probably over the age of 18.
Yes.
So there's most things that in high school you probably wish you could have went back and not like repeat it, but also did. Maybe an extra sport, maybe, extra club, extra class, extra anything. So like now's the opportunity for you to do it, even if you have a little bit of room. I knew somebody, Daniel Umstead. Yes. I think he did a podcast with him. He started off doing something small. I think that was like a year and a half ago. Now he's blowing up. He's doing a whole investment thing. He's doing great. His kids doing great. So you really have to push off, and this might be the day. Yeah. Today could be the day that they spark. Their podcast is day one, headed to day. How many episodes y'all got? 256?
255.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm slipping. I thought I was a listener. I'm a second-class fan.
I know that's goddamn 250 something.
250. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're going to start today. This could, you know what I mean? This could be the start for January. So
no regrets.
No regrets.
Do
start
one
today.
a week. If you do basic math, 250 divided by 5 is 50 episodes a year, right? There's 52 weeks in a year. Yeah. So we're very consistent. It was consistency.
There, let me know that you've been doing it for a long time. We got a timetable like that.
Yes.
We got that means you've been doing it for a minute.
Oh, absolutely.
They did that. Most people don't know how to do the timetable. I know that's right. That's like, I know you've been doing it for a little bit.
Absolutely. It's experience right there. Mm-hmm. Donna, what about you, man? What do you recommend if someone's on the fence or maybe scared or just don't know, but they want to chase their dreams and go after it?
Thought about your team or who you need around you.
Yeah.
Because you can't, ain't no mission came by itself. You know what I'm saying? You need some people around you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I said you got to have a good team, around you. That'll help out. You
brought out, that's a great point, but you mentioned something that I want to ask again, all you guys again. Talk about maybe the major influences in your life and the circle and the importance of having a strong circle. And maybe someone who might have, not that someone's like a rotten apple by any means, but they have just the wrong people. They're around the wrong people, so then they start doing wrong things, making wrong moves, right? But if the importance of having the right people around you, and not everyone's going to be perfect or whatever, and you can modify that group, right? Explain why the influence is important.
The influence is important because, if you don't got nobody to help you out what you want to do or know what you want to do, just like you just the blind leading the blind, So somebody got to lead somewhere, somebody got to lead, somebody can follow, as long as you follow the right path. So it's always depend on, just I look at like my parents. You got good parents, they the best advice. They done made every mistake. I used to not listen to my parents. But I'm all like, they know everything. They told me down every single time I did something. I'm like, I remember my dad did tell me don't do that. Yeah. So it reminds you every single time. So it's like you listen to them. They ain't gonna leave you in the right. You might got some bad parents though. It depend on your parents though, So you gotta read that out. So it's all about your surroundings. That's all.
What about you?
For that, I wrote two things down. Definitely good parents do matter, or good mentors matter. Yeah, right. Good, like growing up, your upbringing.
Yeah.
Aunt, uncle, whoever brings you up really does matter, but also like it depends. Like complacency is dangerous. People you have around you. It depends on like what they expect is something good. Like, all right, let's do like one podcast a month instead of one a week. And one is better than none, right?
Sure.
That's how that thing works. And I remember my teacher always told me this. Like, if a paper's due Friday and you start it Thursday, if you hand it in, you go, but that's pretty good paper. End up getting like a D-. Yeah. Realistically, you started on Monday, you probably easy get an A.
Yeah.
So it's like you got, like you said, that commitment, longevity, time, all those characteristics, but you really can't be complacent. Like literally, I'm sitting here really thinking about it. If it wasn't for Chris and like a lot of people that I've met, transitioning out of college would have been different.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I've seen people, suicide, freaking death, just abuse. A lot of dark things really happen after college if you don't live right.
Yeah.
Chris always pushed me, and I pushed him for a bunch of different things off and on the field. You know what I mean? But mostly off that field really keeps us going today, and that's why we're here today. We've been talking about this for almost a year, and I owed you, Don. I've been thinking about you this whole time, but I'm happy you're here, bro. You deserve to be here. You know what I mean? So this is a start, and we got to keep good people around us, keep pushing us for sure.
So, Chris, what about you, man? What's the power of influence?
The power of influence, it's one of the biggest things, really. Yeah. Because influence messes with your mind state. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it so that you won't think right. You'll have a lot of doubt. You'll have a lot of anything. It can make you, like let's take Hitler for example. Sure. If he would have had another type of person around him who was saying, "Man, let's make peace. Let's do this. Let's do that," he would have went a whole different route. Who knows? He would have been the next Gandhi. Who knows?
It's funny you use that example. Not to cut you off, but you use that example. They say that a lot about like kingpins. They say this all the time. There's like, if that guy went the straight way, he could have been the CEO or the owner of a major corporation.
Pablo Escobar.
Right, exactly.
Just to drive.
Yeah, but it's it's something, and it's mostly because a lot of people, realistically, they're very fragile. Yeah. Especially in your mind. Because, doubt comes in, anything will beat you down. Because you could have a good day today, and it could be one thing, and it'll ruin your whole day. A lot of people won't have that and say, all right, this is just a little bump, let's move on. Yeah. So, for people who are mentally weak, I'm not saying that everybody's mentally weak, but for the people who are, that really is a big thing. Yeah. But for me, I done been through so much stuff, at least for me, and this is how I look at it. is that it's not going to do anything compared to what comes down the line if I just do the opposite of what they say.
Right.
Especially with bad influences. When I sit there and see somebody and they're not on the same wavelength as me, I don't have time for it. I don't have no time for it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they'll sit there and stay in it because they want to see the good in people and want to do that. And that's what the influence do. Oh, well, I'm bad. I feel bad. And they'll change the whole emotion into it to make you feel sad for them when they're the ones who messed up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And now you're putting your energy toward that. Realistically, I think that influence, you just need to cut that out your life. Yeah. Unless it's positive, unless it's something that's going to move you towards your goal, you shouldn't even think about influence unless it's going to help. Unless it's going to help you out. It's a hard emotion. It's a hard emotion to play around with. Yeah. You know, because it's a dangerous thing.
It's a message out there to the folks who are the bad influence, right? And if you're listening, you're thinking like, you're influencing people to do the wrong thing, or you're just a negative vibe every time we're around you. You too need to get checked, right? Yep. It's like, don't bring that energy around me either. If you see I'm trying to if you see I'm trying to grow, if you see I'm trying to better myself, don't try to come and knock me for my progression or try to knock me for, doubt me or clown me for something I'm trying to do that's positive. We this happens all the time. It's like we see someone doing better and then all of a sudden jealousy creeps in or whatever, then they feel bad because they're not doing as much as you're doing, and you get the crazy talk, whatever. I genuinely believe that, man. We should continue to support each other, continue to support the movements, or anything that's positive anyway.
I know that's right. That's why I said work on your mental. Because if you get in a situation and you're not mentally prepared for it, influence can either make or break you. That's why with you can sit there and take that. You can sit there and take that and say, all right, well, this is bad. Let me get this out of my life. A lot of people don't have that. They don't have that. They want to get influence. Oh, well, I can get some type of influence from somebody. Well, no. No, you can't. You realistically can't. But now you have other emotions involved in it. And that's why you got to use your mental. You got to be mentally strong. If you're going to do something, you got to be mentally strong for anything that's coming down the line. Because it's going to be good and it's going to be bad. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a lot more bad stuff than good. But eventually that bad stuff's going to make everything good. Yeah. That's why you see in all those business, like you said, all those motivational videos, all that stuff, they always talk about going down and then going all the way up. Warren Buffett went broke a bunch of times before he got rich.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. Good advice. So let's share before we close out. Let's share, you guys. How can people connect with you? Do you have Instagram accounts or anything people can reach out to you on?
Oh yeah, I'm Don Porter Funny, right?
I think it's Don Porter _funny.
I got my own podcast.
Yes, it's Don. I did the same thing the first time I got on podcast. I was like, it's www.
Hold on.
It's Don Porter _funny.
All right, Trey, what's your IG?
I'm OMTTM _lifestyle. That's oil money to the moon. That's a nonprofit organization. Check us out. We have a lot of community work coming up. Tomorrow we'll be at Liberty Baptist Church in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
And you give out turkeys too.
Give a lot of life, man. So yes, OMTTM.
Chris Smallwood, what about you, man?
I'm at Boss Man Small 6. You know, y'all gonna see a whole bunch of family stuff.
I'm putting
nothing on there. I'm not really an internet guy. Yeah, kind of kicks me off my grind a little bit.
So. How can people listen to your podcast? Where's that located?
It's Philly Point of View podcast. Anchor or subscribe anywhere,
It's on the
iTunes
and Apple Podcast.
Spotify, I ain't really done that recently, but you can go back to the beginning when if you want to laugh, you definitely got a whole lot of fun. If you like to laugh and if you got childhood friends, you want to be like, it's just like your friends but growing up, what I'm saying?
Sure.
So the same.
We got a lot of things coming for next year too.
So the first picture you're gonna see is me and him at the prom. Me and him on prom. Me and him shaking hands on prom night.
Next morning.
We was up all night.
All right, that's awesome. So we'll wrap things up with quotes, and the first one is by Virat Kohli. Self-belief and hard work will always earn you success. The second one by Benjamin Disraeli. The secret of success is the consistency of purpose. Philly Point of View. In this episode, we have special guests Chris Smallwood, Don Washington, and Trae Hall. The crew covers topics from comedy, side hustles, chasing dreams, the city of Philadelphia, and much more. We wrap the episode up with quotes from Virat Kohli and Benjamin Disraeli. Awesome. Guys, thanks again for joining us. The Rotated Views podcast was produced for self-development purposes. Huge shout out to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Blessed Lifestyle brand. That is BL3SSED.com. Also sponsored by The Motivation Files Unleashed. This motivational mixtape will be your fuel for success. Available on all platforms. Guys, don't forget to visit the website, JimmyleeVelez.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rotated Views. If you have any inquiries or questions, email us at info@JimmyleeVelez.com. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we wish you massive success. Stay blessed.